Park with Chris McMenery and John Held.
Wednesday went all the way last season. Middlesbrough were just one step away from Wembley the previous year. So this is a competition much loved by both clubs. The fact that Lenny Lawrence names an unchanged side is not so much down to his pleasure with Sunday's draw at Millwall, it's just that he's down to the bare bones, with Jamie Pollock, Tommy Wright and Andy Peake all injured. There are 4 teenagers and 1 20-year-old in his squad tonight. Paul Wilkinson had an X-ray on a cheekbone after a nasty accident on Sunday, but there's no fracture, so thankfully for Lawrence, he lines up again alongside the prolific John Hendry. Sheffield Wednesday have been struck by a sequence of injuries and illness, the like of which Trevor Francis has never had to contend with before as manager, but he welcomes back one fixture in the side, enabling Andy Sinton to move from defence to midfield. Nigel Worthington had a brain scan last week after collapsing 3 times, and he missed Saturday's derby at Bramall Lane, but is fit to resume tonight. Officiating is Terry Lunt from Ashton in Makerfield. There's a great atmosphere here at Ayton Park as Wednesday get a free kick in the first 3 seconds of the game. And talking of atmosphere, Chris, we were here 10 days ago for the derby against Sunderland, and we know just how it's generated here.
Well, if we have a game tonight as good and as exciting as that one, we'll all be very pleased. Lots of goals, lots of incident, and there's enough talent on the pitch tonight to do that again.
Middlesbrough in reasonably good form at the moment. I saw them at the weekend when they drew at Millwall, and they were good value for that point. Wednesday just trying to get their season together, and now Sinton nudges the ball towards Bright, but Middlesbrough's defence strong on that occasion. Pearce looks strong there, but it's fallen handily for Alan Moore, and he runs straight up the middle and hits a shot, a raking shot, wide of the left-hand upright of Kevin Pressman. And Alan Moore only passed a fitness test on a back injury shortly before kick-off. Bright couldn't get there. Hyde did. He's a busy player, Graham Hyde, and he's been as consistent as anybody in this poor start to the season for Sheffield Wednesday.
I think if you talk to most Wednesday supporters, they'll say he's been one of the better players this season so far. Very hard-working player, a young lad with what looks to be a very good future.
Forward by Carlton Palmer, but really into no man's land, and then he heads it forward. And he's playing a bit of head tennis with Nicky Mohan at the moment. White, pumped upfield for Hendry, who uses his body well, controls it well. There's a chance here if the ball is switched quickly. Here's Craig Hignett. Pressman saves with his foot, and Morris hits fresh air. It's still here, the danger, however. Important tackle by Pearce. We saw Hignett 10 days ago here score a goal against Sunderland from a not dissimilar position, and it was a good effort.
That's right, and we also saw John Hendry have a great game that day. There was a lovely turn past Des Walker, I think it was, and then 2 quick passes and a shooting opportunity, but a good save by Kevin Pressman with his foot.
Hignett, one of the top scorers in this competition this season. He got 5 goals in the tie against Brighton, and there he was close to 1 in this match.
There we see. It doesn't matter what you save it with, does it?
Hignett's free kick for Middlesbrough. Flat, but it produced an effort, which has not gone a long way wide from Fleming. Curtis Fleming has never scored. He was only a couple of feet away there. Wilkinson directing the ball well. It landed at Hignett's foot. He's played Hendry in here inside the area. Oh, what a miss that is. Hendry scooped it across. Wilkinson coming in seemed in a perfect position to score, and it's actually taken a deflection off a Sheffield Wednesday defender, so credit to the defence.
A lovely little move, a good ball from Hignett. Hendry finds space in the box and clips the ball across, and a little bit of a challenge under pressure there, but could have possibly made the opening goal there.
Hendry again, he'll tease. And, he's going around in circles, but he's done well again. And he'll win another corner. So it's Wednesday under the cosh for the moment, and a Middlesbrough corner kick. Hignett floats it in, straight across. Amazingly, they've missed the target again. John Hendry on his less favoured foot, the left one, slashes the ball right across the face of goal.
Well, a couple of great chances early in the game to go ahead. Here's the ball, little touch from Pearce, and he's got space at the far post, and just clips it wide.
Fleming's done well, rode the challenge. He's done well to find Hendry there, edge of the area too. The ball just eluded more. So we've had quarter of an hour without a goal. Middlesbrough have made a couple of good chances. Morris lobbing it, edge of the area. Wilkinson can't get there ahead of Pearce. It's a real up and under effort. Pearce has made a solid start to the match. And he'll have to defend again now. Musto threading the ball through. John Hendry, could be a goal. Side netting. And again Wednesday caught out through the middle by John Hendry's splendid positional play.
That's right, Roland Nielsen's looking at the linesman. There was a hint of offside. Here we see Chris Waddle, just another player slipping on the surface. A couple of little passes and then release John Hendry. Roland Nielsen, arm up, no offside, carries on and strikes it.
To go through into the fourth round. Hendry now. This is where he left the run at the defence, and he's found Moore. And Moore played it too quickly. Normally, Alan Moore in those situations would have just carried on going and run with the ball, but he chose the wrong option that time. So here, Middlesbrough might be bisected again. Tremendous run inside that penalty area. Pearce stretches, and in the end, the ball ends up in the side netting from the foot of Carlton Palmer.
Again, we're seeing Chris Waddle start to have a real influence on this game. A great ball through to Carlton Palmer. Powerful run, fending the defender off. Gets a little touch to it. Keeper put him off, and he's into the side netting. Well, Waddle's starting to have an...
Waddle, seconds before the break. Terrific ball it was to Bright, and the ref blew his whistle at the moment that Bright was about to have a pot shot at goal.
Well, what a shame that was. A superb ball with the outside of his left foot, and Terry Luntz called an end to the proceedings there.
But Moore there had the best chance of the half for Middlesbrough. He couldn't take it, and that is why we have a half-time score here at Ayresome Park. Middlesbrough nil. It's all set up here. These two sides wanting to advance into the next round of the Coca-Cola Cup, but in truth, they'll have to play better final balls than they did in the first 45 minutes. Yet who knows, two halves of games can be distinctly different, and it's Middlesbrough who start brightly. With Hignett firing this one through, and Moore nearly got in behind Andy Pearce. But Pearce has been solid so far. Moore's looked dangerous at times, but his finishing efforts have not been the best. There is Lenny Lawrence, who's got a wry smile, I would suggest there.
He's done a great job here, Lenny Lawrence, and he's been in that Premier League, and a lot of these players have played at the top level as well. Morris.
Again, a lot of blue and white shirts around. Wilkinson got a half chance. Stephen Pearce, excellent Middlesbrough servant, 31 now. One of their best signings in recent years from Manchester United. Morris. Hignett was trying to make a break. Here comes Hendry, and he's made the break. He's got goal side of the defender. John Hendry, brilliantly polished off. Wednesday caught cold. Hendry celebrates. He may have hurt himself in the process, but he'll have a big grin all over his face. And that's why.
Well, that's a tremendous finish from John Hendry. He's had a long time to look at that goal. The ball, one ball, as we see, is split Wednesday's defence. He's set off. He's got one of the quickest defenders in the world against him, Des Walker. He's kept his head. And what a great finish there with the outside of his foot.
So Hendry will tell you that's his 14th of the season, because he's claiming the one at Millwall at the weekend. There won't be many better than that.
Showed tremendous pace there, and he kept his head. A long, long look at the goal. He's had to go 20 or 30 yards with the ball. We see him here very difficult when you get all that time, you know where you're going, you know where the goal is, and he's just poked it before Des Walker got his foot in.
Typical of a man in form. That is the top scorer in the First Division this season. He scored in that famous Middlesbrough win over Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup 2 years ago. Lenny Lawrence has come down the to the touchline to lead the applause, no doubt. Trevor Francis's reaction is to bring on a striker, Nigel Jemson, in place of Ryan Jones, who's just going off down the tunnel. The break might be on through the middle for Wilkinson. This time it's read by Pearce. Bright stumbled. Fleming emerges with the ball. On he goes, Curtis Fleming. Moore's calling for it square. Here's Hendry. Still Hendry. Loses his footing at the critical moment, though. And a poor clearance from Pressman. Made a present of it to Liebird. Hendry's through. Hendry in maybe for a second goal. Terrific stop by Pressman. Hendry might well have clinched it there. It was a good enough effort. Pressman with the perfect reaction.
Nice little ball from Richard Liebird. Slipped him through again. Left foot, went for the far corner. And a good strong hand from Kevin Pressman. Pushed it away. Defender puts it out for the corner.
Nearly bobbled in off Des Walker, to be fair. Here's the Middlesbrough corner, though. Mohan's come for it in there. Palmer heads it out. And then Morris tries to chip it back over the defender. And Worthington and Hignett got it. And Wilkinson's coming back post. The header wide. And he'd fouled the opponent. Wilkinson always dangerous, though, and he was in looking for what would have been his 20th goal in this competition. Then goes out at the moment as we see what happens here with Jemson first. Still Jemson. Cannoned away off a defender. Straight up in the air from White. Palmer. He's found Waddle. Waddle from beating Liebird. I was just looking at the list of injuries that Wednesday have. John Sheridan out with a thigh injury. David Hurst. Chris Clark-Williams. Nigel Pearson with a broken leg. And they've sold half a dozen as well. Inside the area. Well, it's come back to Pearce, to Nielsen rather, and Moore will clear it. Waddle. It's an important spell of the game, this, as Wednesday tried to turn the screw, and when Middlesbrough looked to hit on the break, Hendry has got a man on his right. Here is that man, Hignett. Supporting him will be Chris Morris. It's still Hignett, though. Trouble here for Wednesday, and the shot from Mustoe! Pressman makes the stop.
Another very quick break from Middlesbrough there, especially Mustoe, who made up 30 yards there to get to the edge of the box. And Hignett, good awareness again, slips the ball to his left. And Mustoe coming onto it right-footed and brings out another good save from Kevin.
Mark Bright's getting a lecture. Play had continued. Bright obviously said something, and well, he and Derek White in trouble by the look of it. Can't honestly say I saw there what happened there, but White's going to get a booking. He got sent off on Sunday, and he's going to get another yellow card tonight. He really is in trouble. He got booked at Pisa a couple of weeks ago as well. So the Scot picks up a yellow card, and it looks to me as though Mark Bright is going to get one as well. He is. Frustration, I imagine. He's off. Well, that's a shock to me. I must say, that's a huge shock to me. I can't honestly see what Bright has done, but he certainly offended Mr. Lunt with something. We might have a look and see if we can find a replay of an incident that gives us a clue. But that's astonishing to me. Mark Bright makes the walk to the tunnel.
Well, I think that shocked both sets of players there. Chris Waddle was asking the referee why, and the referee seemed to be explaining one or two things, but it's been a fierce battle between the two of them all night, but there's been nothing malicious in it, and there's a little confrontation there. Just goes out a shot. They've both fallen over, so the only thing possibly that could have happened is something was said to the referee, or a collection of incidents throughout the second half, but a strange decision and a very disappointing one for Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, Mr. Lunt might clear it up for us afterwards, but Wednesday now have got a really uphill task. A goal down and they're a man down. Free kick Wednesday's way, though. And, what does baffle me slightly is that one player got a red and one got a yellow. In those sort of situations, they both get the same colour. And White, having been sent off at the weekend, must have been a bit worried. Anyway, Roland Nielsen's having a pleasant little chat with the referee. Wednesday need a goal to retain interest in the Coca-Cola Cup. No, and is Waddle going to chip it? As though they've been working on this manoeuvre. It's gone all the way through and it's headed out by White. Corner for Wednesday. Time running out as well for Sheffield Wednesday, but from this corner they couldn't find Pearce. Stabbed away as far as Sinton. He asks Waddle to deliver another cross. That he does. Flicks away off the head. 20 players, because Bright's been sent off, are in the Middlesbrough half. Palmer's got a header in. A weak one. And if Wednesday lose, Chris, it's going to be a real blow to the club's morale at this time when it's pretty low anyway.
Yes, as we've said all night, it was always going to be a difficult game, but when you get a player sent off, it makes it even more difficult. The only thing they'll be hoping now is it spurs the players on to greater things in this game.
Injury to it's Des Walker. He went for the ball with John Hendry there and stayed down. Oh, look at that. Oh dear, dear, dear. And Des Walker, with blood streaming from his face, being treated by Alan Smith. And I think Hendry's studs might have caught him.
It seemed to me quite a high challenge, this. I mean, you look in there at 5 foot off the ground. I mean, it's really caught Des Walker full on the face there. And he's obviously in a bit of bother, Des Walker.
Sarah Francis has a haunted look there, I must say. I've got to say, too, that boot was a bit high, and we've just seen a player sent off for something that mystified us. And yet, John Hendry is patting Walker on the back. John Hendry's not that sort of a player. He's a wholehearted competitor. And he's got to be rueful, and the referee's going to speak to him, and the linesman has come across. Has he? No, the referee says he'll handle it. And play will restart with a free kick, but no punishment against John Hendry. Now that does surprise me, I must say. That's a bit of inconsistency, I would have said there.
It's all he asks for from officials is consistency, and although it is very difficult because the game's quick nowadays, it did seem a high challenge, and there was obvious damage to Des Walker.
It means that for the moment, Wednesday are down to 9 players. So the mountain gets higher for them. But Palmer might be in here for them. No, that's a back pass, isn't it? That's got to be a back pass. Well, Palmer can't believe it. I don't see what else that could have been.
Well, he's having all sorts to deal with, Mr. Lunt, now, and it did seem to all and sundry that was a back pass there.
Next thing that's going to happen is that Michael Williams is going to come on for Sheffield Wednesday as the sub for Des Walker. Well, let's have a look at that. I'm convinced this has to be a back pass. Mohan is stretching for it. Or did it come off Palmer? Well, Palmer claimed a back pass. It's still Borough 1, Wednesday 0. Stabbed forward again, and Pearce out in time. He's alert to the danger, as he's been all night. He's had a good game, Pearce. Moore and Liebert, these two youngsters. Liebert's carrying on here, and he's going on and on. And he's brought down by Pearce. And Borough will take as long as they want over this one. No sense in hurrying.
What a confident run from Richard Liebert there, who came from non-league. A good signing, and isn't showing the top guys too much respect tonight, is he?
He's a good athlete, isn't he?
Nice bit of interplay. And here he has the confidence to get his head down. He's gone past a couple there. willing to take another one and commit people, really attacking the heart of the defence, and ends up getting Middlesbrough free kick.
Hignett, free kick! It flashed a foot wide. Westman had flung himself to keep it out anyway. That was a lovely free kick. Only a few minutes left. We're inside the last 5. Nielsen steps forward, lobs it up there. Palmer can do nothing with it though. Williams still. They get themselves free. Wilkinson was looking for the dart up the middle. Moore instead plays an intelligent ball right across field. Then Hignett looks for Wilkinson. He's found Henry. The two of them working in unison well, Wilkinson and Henry, as they've done all season. Here's Wilkinson again. Nudged back for Hignett. He loses out to Waddle. Will hit it first time. Tremendous ball from Waddle. It might have opened the door for Carlton Palmer. Yes! Wednesday may have been saved by the emergency striker. What a ball from Waddle. What a finish from Palmer.
Chris Waddle picks the ball up. A tremendous 40-yard ball, splits the defence, gives Carlton Palmer a great chance. Good first touch, right in the top corner. Here's the skill of the man. Head down, he knows where he's putting it. He's killed the defender. Carlton Palmer says thanks a lot, goes forward, pushes it out of his feet. Eye on the ball. Pick that one out.
87 minutes gone and Carlton Palmer scores for the second successive match. His first 2 goals of the season, and what a vital ones they've been. One against Sheffield United, the greatest enemy of all, and one to maybe, just maybe, keep Sheffield Wednesday in the Coca-Cola Cup. But here he goes up again. Carlton Palmer taking them on by himself. Williams. Hyde. And Sheffield Wednesday have earned a replay. It's back to Hillsborough in a couple of weeks' time. Middlesbrough thought they'd got the job done when John Henry scored a cracking goal to give them the lead early in the second half. But Carlton Palmer, taking Chris Waddle's gorgeous pass in his stride, went on to belt in a cracking equaliser. So it ends here, Middlesbrough 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and it's all to play.
You're just happy to be still in the competition?
Yeah, I think so, especially when we went down to 10 men. The odds were against us coming back then, but you know, what I've come to expect from these players is that they never know when they're beaten, and I think that what we've gained from it is that you know, it was a good battling performance.
What's the dressing room version of the sending off of Mark Bright?
Well, I haven't spoken to Mark about it, but I couldn't believe when he called the 2 players, White and Bright, together, because I couldn't see what had happened. I've just checked with the referee, and apparently he sent Mark off for violent conduct.
He said he kicked White after the ball had gone.
That's what he said, but you know, I haven't seen the television, and I certainly didn't see it tonight when I was watching the game.
It's going to stretch your resources even further, though, isn't it now?
Well, it is, yes, but perhaps I've found another centre forward in Carlton Palmer. I mean, without him going up front, we're probably out of the competition. He scored a magnificent goal, and I think his enthusiasm in those last 10 minutes rubbed off on the rest of the players.
An inspired switch. I think I said Alan Shearer would have been proud of that.
Well, it was a great finish. He scored on Saturday in the derby with his head. This is a great run, and strikes it in the roof of the net.